Good evening, welcome to Primetime News here on TV1. I'm Disal Kapuge bringing you the news for News First, where we are and always will be with the people. First up are the headlines.
Tiagoda shooting victim moved to ICU. Police SI remanded. Were IMF details disclosed to third parties?
රජය හැටියට සාකච්ඡා කරපු දේ IMF එකේ අනුමත කිරීමෙන් පස්සේ තමයි එය ප්‍රකාශයට පත් වෙන්නේ.
A decision to increase MP medical insurance. Wasanta Mudalige's brother visits the TID. Venerable Siridhamma Thero removed from the National Hospital.
And now in your top story, the teenage boy who was injured in a shooting incident in Tihagoda of Matara continued to receive treatment at the ICU of the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital. A hospital spokesperson said the boy underwent surgery on Friday night. The police sub-inspector whose weapon discharged was produced to Matara magistrate Isuru Nethikumara and was remanded to the 2nd of November 2022.
A shot of a weapon ran out at approximately 4:30 on Friday evening along by a road in Midalawala, Tihagoda. It is reported that 6 teenagers were travelling in a 3-wheeler collecting peacock feathers for the Katina Chivara Puja of the local temple. Among them was the student who sustained gunshot injuries. At the same time, 3 police officers from the Tihagoda police had visited the area to carry out a drug raid and inspected the 3-wheeler in question. 3 teenage boys fled the scene immediately, while 15-year-old Haresh Hansaka Deshanta, who was seated at the back, was shot. 2 of the 3 police officers who had arrived in a police 3-wheeler were dressed in civil attire.
Haresh was the last to get off. When he was getting off, they shoved him. That was when the shot rang out. Haresh fell back inside. Then they put him in the police 3-wheeler and took him and the rest to the Matara hospital.
The injured teenage boy was first admitted to the Matara hospital and was then transferred to the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital for further treatment.
My brother is in the ICU of the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital. Doctors are working on him. They did not comment about his situation.
On Friday night, enraged locals visited the Tihagoda police and it led to a heated confrontation. Senior DIG in charge of the southern province, attorney Ajit Rohana, also visited the premises.
We will not rule this as a normal accident. The SI has been interdicted with immediate effect. Legal action will be taken and a special police team will be conducting investigations.
The Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka launched its own investigation into the incident on Friday, dispatching officers from its Matara office to the crime scene.
One person had told to leave him behind and the driver had insisted to take him. The person who fired the shot was in civil attire. When the 3-wheeler was ordered to stop, the boys had moved it to the side of the road. Thereafter the shot was fired. Who shoots a 15-year-old boy?
The 57-year-old police sub-inspector, whose weapon discharged, was produced to the Matara magistrate Isuru Nethikumara and was remanded to the 2nd of November 2022.
The The President's Media Division joined with the community kitchen concept, which was introduced to support the people who are affected by the food shortage. Today's leg took place in Kandy with the participation of the Prime Minister.
The President's Media Division joined with the community kitchen concept, which was introduced to support the people who are affected by the food shortage. During the program, extensive discussions regarding the release of the state-owned lands in the Kandy district took place between public representatives and the government officials.
We are facing an economic situation that is worse than the situation during the war. We are facing a massive food crisis as a result of solutions for the problems of being self-sufficient being delayed. We need foreign revenue to import food. We need dollars. We are facing a crisis. We have halted construction for this year. We are focusing on this endeavour.
During the event, journalists questioned the Prime Minister regarding the IMF staff level agreement.
The Parliament will get the previous budget document. The President will formulate and present the budget after including the concessions from the IMF, the World Bank and other friendly countries. We will publish the details after discussing them with the board of the IMF and getting their approval. SJB parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva has questioned President Ranil Wickremesinghe, saying as to whether the IMF staff-level agreement has been given out to various individuals in committees appointed by him. In a tweet, the MP said that if the IMF staff-level agreement that has thus far been hidden, even from the Sri Lanka Parliament Committee on Public Finance on purported radio silence, has been given out, it is a serious breach.
MP Chandima Veerakkudi, a member of the Committee on Public Finance, revealed that the agreement reached with the IMF was not disclosed to the Committee on Public Finance.
As a member of the Committee on Public Finance, I can responsibly state that no explanation was given to Parliament or the Committee on Public Finance. As per Article 148 of the Constitution, it is the Parliament that has the power to decide on public finance. The issue here is that this power has been given to others. We suspect whether Ranil Wickremesinghe is following the footsteps of Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa කරපු ආකාරයටම රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහත් කරනවාද කියන සැකය දැන් මතුවෙමින් පවතිනවා.
A protest took place in Haputale town demanding the immediate solution to the issues that have plunged the lives of the people of Sri Lanka. Saturday marked 8 years since the devastating media Babda landslide in Koslanda, and the protest was staged demanding justice to the people who lost their houses and other property.
October 38 lives were tragically lost on the 29th of October 2014. They were buried under the mud. It's been 8 years and the people have no place to live. After protesting for several years, 75 families were given homes. But another 134 families are living within the high-risk zones. We witnessed the tragedy that took place 8 years ago. Mahinda Rajapaksa and co. shed crocodile tears. Their henchmen were given compensation, but justice was not served to the people who lost everything.
There is no doubt that the prevailing times are difficult for every citizen in the country. Families that were helpless before the crisis have been hit by the double whammy. This is the story of a family from Mahavilachya.
This is Vasanthi Kumari, a resident of Tantirimale Ihaladangaswava in the Mahavilachya Divisional Secretariat. Vasanthi's husband passed away 2 years ago, leaving 2 children under their mother's care. Vasanthi, along with her 2 children, live a harsh life under the roof of this small hut. Skipping meals is a daily occurrence for these children. Previously, Vasanthi used to earn through hired labor, but today, that income is not even close to the amount of income needed to raise these children.
ලොකු බබාගෙට අවුරුදු 8යි. එයා ඉන්නේ 2 වසරේ ඉස්කෝලේ. තව අවුරුදු 2කමාරක පොඩි බබෙක් ඉන්නවා. එයාත් තියාගෙන ඉතින් මට වෙන වැඩකට යන්නත් නැහැ. මම අමාරුවෙන් තමයි ජීවත් වෙන්නේ. ඒ මහත්තයා නැති වෙලා අවුරුදු 2ක් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඉතින් කන්න බොන්න වේදම් කරන්න කවුරුවත් හිටියෙත් නැහැ.
The education for her children is the only priority Vasanthi has at present, and she appeals for support to make the dreams of her children a reality.
Sri Lankan MPs have reportedly requested to increase their insurance policy.
A decision has been reached to increase the insurance policy of members of Parliament from 200,000 rupees to 1 million rupees. Parliament Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena said the decision was reached by the Parliament House Committee. The proposal will be produced to the Cabinet soon.
There are some villages in Sri Lanka that engage in a battle between life and death, especially when it rains. This is the story of the village in Ambalavatta in Mahiyangana, which had been ignored in the country's development drive.
Ambalavatta is one of the most rural yet beautiful villages in Mahiyangana in the Batula district. However, the lives of these people are not as beautiful as the environment. The Gum at the Door-to-Door program recognizes the issues that have plunged this village for many years was the absence of a proper and stable bridge over the Unagalava Oya, which can turn deadly when it rains. Several logs and planks were placed across the waterway, creating a temporary bridge, but during the rainy season, the use of the bridge turns deadly. But today, a permanent solution was provided. Government stepped in to launch the construction of a new stable bridge for the village of Ambalavatta. After the bridge comes to life, the people can easily cross the Unagalava Oya to reach the schools, hospitals and other towns as well. The event was attended by Executive Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group, Siobhan Daniel, as well as Uruvarige Vanila Atto, among others. The Airline Pilots Guild of Sri Lanka joined forces with Kammadda to bring this project to life. The new bridge for the Ambalavatta village will be declared open soon.
News First with the people.
Let's now cross over to a short commercial break and come back for more news.
News First, main sponsor.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
අයිවන් සතුටින් ඉන්නේ වයරින් කරලා වයරින් කිරුවේ ඉස්ලොන් පොලිකොන් යොදලා පොලිකොන් එන්නේ ඉස්ලොන් නිවසින් හින්දා කීපුරාම විශ්වාසය සතුට පැතිරිලා.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking, electricity and AC wiring, S-Lawn Polycon cable trunking, suitable for white walls, prevent spread of fire, double lock technology. Ask for S-Lawn Polycon by name.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
අයිවන් සතුටින් ඉන්නේ වයරින් කරලා වයරින් කිරුවේ ඉස්ලොන් පොලිකොන් යොදලා.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking and AC wiring, S-Lawn Polycon cable trunking.
Thank you for staying with us. Activist Venerable Sirida Mathero was moved out of the Colombo National Hospital today.
Venerable Galweva Sirida Mathera, who is held under the Prevention of Terrorism Act and moved to the Colombo National Hospital for residential treatment after being diagnosed with dengue, was moved out on Saturday. A senior official at the Colombo National Hospital told Newsfirst that the Venerable Thera was moved out on Saturday evening. Venerable Galweva Sirida Mathera is currently in detention for 90 days under the PTA. Anura Mudalige is the brother of the IUSF convener Vasantha Mudalige, and he visited the TID in Narayanpeta.
When I went to meet Vasantha, what I mainly said was that he has been arrested for no reason. Galweva Sirida Mathero is unwell and was being kept inside without providing any medicine. So is Vasantha Mudalige. Even then, he was locked in a dark cell for 2 days, and it was not an environment suitable for any sick detainee. We ask Rajapaksha and Ranil, what are they trying to do?
The People's Tomorrow organization convened a media briefing.
අන්තරේ භික්ෂු පෙරමුණේ හිටපු මේ හාමුදුරුවෝ ත්‍රස්තවාදියෙක්.
Is this monk who led the IUSF a terrorist? It has been 60 days now. If Vasanta or Siridhamma Thero is involved in any form of terrorist activity, we tell them to prove it and expose it to the country, because it is totally a political agenda. If anyone wants to justify the arrest of Vasanta and Siridhamma Thero, we tell this government to provide enough evidence for that.
කුමන හෝ සාක්ෂියක් දැන්වත් මේ ආණ්ඩුව ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕනේ.
Another Aragalaya movement claims that the lives of student activists are at risk.
සමස්ත ජනතාවම අද කුසගින්නේ අරගලයෙන් මිදෙන්නේ කොහොමද?
The entire country is in hunger. How can we overcome this? When will we overcome the struggle to survive? The IUSF convener and the Thero who spoke out against the suffering were detained. This is a new system of suppression. Back then the bullet was used to kill. Now they are trying to torture and make the detainees sick as their form of killing. This is their new system. Stay with us for more news after this short commercial break.
අයිවන් සතුටින් ඉන්නේ වයරින් කරලා වයරින් කිරුවේ ඉස්ලොන් පොලිකොන් යොදලා.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking and AC wiring, Eslon Polycon cable trunking.
The 99th anniversary of the proclamation of the Republic of Turkey was celebrated in Colombo on Friday evening.
The Turkey embassy in Sri Lanka celebrated the 99th anniversary of the proclamation of the Republic of Turkey in Colombo on Friday evening. Ambassadors, high commissioners, diplomats, Sri Lankan MPs, ministers and senior servicemen were among those present. The official proclamation of the Turkish Republic by founding father Ataturk took place on October 29, 1923, when the name of the nation and its status as a republic were declared. The Turkish Grand National Assembly or Parliament then voted unanimously to make Ataturk a revolutionary statesman, the first president of the Republic of Turkey. Turkey has since celebrated Republic Day on October 29th.
Newsfirst Charlene Benedict has been awarded the TV/Radio Presenter of the Year at the 3rd New Generation Awards 2022.
The award ceremony was attended by Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs and Minister of Irrigation Roshan Ranasinghe, diplomats and many other dignitaries. Newsfirst Charlene Benedict has been awarded the TV/Radio Presenter of the Year at the 3rd New Generation Awards 2022. The award recognizes young leaders who contribute towards the community in careers such as entrepreneurship, technopreneurs, sports, social service, innovation, talents, arts, creative science and social media.
An event on reform in education, lessons learnt, organized by Avaya Education was held via Zoom this afternoon.
The discussion was based on the book Challenges of Change, Reforming Education from 1996 to 2005, written by Dr. Tara Dimel. The panel included former Dean of the Faculty of IT at the University of Moratuwa, Professor Ashoka Karunananda, and senior academic Dr. Radhika Mendis.
Today, if I speak to people in the ministry, which I do often, most of them have worked with me at some stage or the other. And I talk to them about current things. They're all very enthusiastic, all want to roll out reforms, but maybe 2023, even some were hoping it'll be 2022. What I'm trying to say is that the enthusiasm and the drive of the people in the bureaucratic establishment has not gone away. That's all I can say. It's still there to a large degree. But what I see lacking here is that leadership that drives them and says, look, guys, we have to get this done. These are the milestones. This is the roadmap. We have to get it done by such and such. You see, I see that as a main block. And I feel if that is in place, I don't think there's going to be a big problem with the teams that are at the moment trying to drive the process.
Theme Resorts and Spas was relaunched as Thema Collection in Colombo on Friday. The 11 resorts or experience centres will be localised to fit the Sri Lankan culture and boost tourism in the country. Many dignitaries, including Minister of Tourism Harin Fernando, attended the event.
Haley's Advantage, the transportation and logistics arm of the Haley's Group, launched the inaugural cycling parade on the 29th of October to promote safe cycling and a healthy lifestyle among its employees. The logistics provider is set to establish a network of cycle repair stations across Colombo, the first of which was ceremonially opened at Colombo 3 by the chairman and chief executive of Haley's PLC, Mohan Pandithage, and Haley's Advantage managing director, Ruwan Vaidyaratna. The repair station would assist cyclists to attend quick fixes on their bicycles in case of emergencies. These stations will be fully equipped with a pump and useful tools. The action-packed event witnessed more than 150 employees from Haley's Advantage make the 17-kilometer-long circuit.
Up next is BizFirst.
90 billion rupees worth of Treasury bills are to be issued through an auction on the 2nd of November 2022 by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Bids are invited from the primary dealers in government securities, and bids should only be made through the electronic bidding facility provided by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka before 11 a.m. on Wednesday the 2nd of November. The date of settlement for these bills will be on the 4th of November 2022.
In many parts of the Batticaloa district, incidents of cattle deaths are being reported continuously. The Newsfirst team visited some of these areas with the aim of identifying the problem. And here are the preliminary observations made today. In many parts of the Batticaloa district, the stench of cattle carcasses is greater and can be smelled from across farmlands. Livestock breeders who abandoned agriculture and engaged in animal husbandry due to the scarcity of fertilizers have been forced to give up that prospect as well. In the last 5 days alone, nearly 100 cows have died in the Iralakulam area. The Department of Health points out the nature of the disease as one that affects the throat passage of the cows. However, these cattle breeders are forced to watch their cows die a painful death as the cows die after suffering for hours. In the meantime, it has been observed that the cattle have died in the areas of Mayalathamadu, Madhavane, under the Vandaramulai Kiran Veterinary Division. Although thousands of cattle are being reared in the area, farmers say that many cows and calves die suddenly due to the disease.
I have here with me a father of 4 children, Muruga Pillai. His main livelihood is a cow and cattle that you saw. And he has no hopes for the future, as this main livelihood now has a huge doubt of breaking down. What will he do with the rest of the life that he has left, being almost over 70 years old, with 4 children? What is his future with this crisis and with this looming problem, which we know no reason as to the root about?
TNA parliamentarian M.A. Sumandiran believes that the proposal calling for the appointment of a select committee on amending the electoral system is another attempt to delay elections.
Sri Lanka's Minister of Justice, Prison Affairs and Constitutional Reform, Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, has requested the Speaker of Parliament to appoint a parliamentary select committee to amend the electoral system. The letter to the Speaker contains 15 individual points on amending the electoral system. Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa proposes to appoint a special parliamentary committee to investigate and report on a suitable election system for the election of public representatives to the Parliament, provincial councils and local government bodies authorities of Sri Lanka and to make suitable recommendations for the same. The letter also noted that the Speaker should hold the position of the Chairman of the committee and the Speaker should also nominate the members to the committee. It is stated in the letter sent to the Speaker by President's Counsel Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa that it is appropriate to consider proposing a suitable system for the local government election as a priority task and report on the matter within 2 weeks.
The government seems to be wanting to postpone elections. And that is why the Minister of Justice has written a letter asking for an appointment of yet another Parliamentary Select Committee. In this Parliament, there was a Parliamentary Select Committee with regard to the electoral processes, and it has given its report. So there is no necessity for any other Parliamentary Select Committee. This is being done as a ruse to put off elections. Already provincial council elections have been put off for several years. When that happened, I brought a private member's bill to correct the law and in order to have the elections immediately. Unfortunately, the parliament was dissolved and now without holding those provincial council elections, government is also taking steps to put off the local government elections. They must be held forthwith. But we are not only satisfied with that, we are going one step further, and as we have called out repeatedly, the current parliament must be dissolved and a general election must be held immediately.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says the Rajapaksa government is solely responsible for the woes of the hill country community that they are facing at present.
As per the Sakvala program, initiated based on a concept of opposition leader Sajid Premadasa, the 38th bus was donated to the Cambridge College in Kotagala, Hatton. Under our government, we will award land ownership to the estate community and promote tea exports by cultivating the entire plot of land while proceeding to an export-oriented economy. The gang in the Pohottua ruined the lives of the hill country people and everyone. The Rajapaksa family that bankrupted this country is responsible for every teardrop that falls from your eyes. Now we are told they are trying to rise again from the ashes. They are trying to rise while turning the whole country into ashes. The people will decide if they will rise or not.
A grand musical show was held in Batiklo in order to celebrate the 24th anniversary of our sister channel, Shakti TV.
The show is being held at the Hindu College grounds in Batiklo.
Eastern Beast Musical Festival.
The musical show began at 6 p.m. on Saturday and will continue till late night. Executive Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group, Shivan Daniel, and other dignitaries graced the event. Singers from South India, Satya Prakash and Hari Priya, have also been brought down for the concert, which also includes many local talents.
Newsfirst goes global once again. Newsfirst joins the Asia Vision membership of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. 28 countries, 30 news channels, 24 hours a day.
Newsfirst with the people.
Season 2 of the internationally franchised The Voice Sri Lanka premiered earlier this evening on Sirasa TV.
Sirasa TV introduced reality television to Sri Lanka and once again proved that it is the leader of reality television in the country with Season 2 of the internationally franchised The Voice Sri Lanka. The Voice is an international reality television singing competition franchise viewed across 180 countries, and the current rights owner is ITV Studios. Previously, Sirasa TV presented Voice Teens twice and The Voice on one occasion to Sri Lankan audiences. And several times, Sri Lankan contestants were selected for Voice Global, taking Sri Lanka's name to the international stage. Umaria Singhawansa, Shashika Nisansala, Kasun Kalhara, Bhatia Jaikwadi and Santosh Veeraman are back as coaches on The Voice Season 2. You can watch The Voice Sri Lanka on Sirasa TV from Saturday onwards at 8:30 p.m. every weekend.
Glenn Phillips scored a magnificent century while Trent Boult scalped 4 wickets as New Zealand beat Sri Lanka by 65 runs in their Group 1 encounter at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Opting to bat first, New Zealand were in trouble in the power play, losing 3 quick wickets. Finn Allen, Devon Conway and Kane Williamson all departed early, leaving New Zealand on 15 for 3 wickets. A partnership for 84 was then built up between Glenn Phillips and Daryl Mitchell, getting New Zealand out of trouble. The pair would bat sensibly, knocking the ball around, punishing the odd bad ball away. They were also helped in their effort by Sri Lanka's fielding as they put down 2 catches. Mitchell would finally be dismissed by Vanudhu Hasaranga with a brilliant wrong bringing an end to the partnership. Chasing 168, Sri Lanka's innings never got going as they failed to counter the clever bowling from Tim Southee and Trent Boult. Southee scalped 1 wicket in the first over, with Boult scalping 2 in the second as Sri Lanka were reduced to 6 for 3. Boult would have his third in his 4th over, sending Charith Asalanka packing as Sri Lanka were reeling at 8 for 4. After the early blows, Sri Lanka never quite recovered despite the best efforts of Bhanuka Rajapaksa. The batter scored 34 off 22 before being dismissed by Lockie Ferguson. Mitchell Santner would also strike twice, getting the wickets of Chamika Karunaratne and Mahesh Theekshana as Sri Lanka were limping around at 65 for 8. Skipper Dasun Shanaka's spirited effort of 35 runs for 32 balls would also come to an end as Boult ended his knock to scalp his 4th of the match. The pacer would end his spell with figures of 4 for 13. Ish Sodhi would scalp the final wicket of Lahiru Kumara in the final over as Sri Lanka were bowled out for 102. And that's a wrap of Primetime News here on TV1. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, take care and have a good night.